Hi, welcome to Right Outside with Big Bow Outdoors TV. I'm your host, Matt Propelka. We have an exciting show set up for you today. We're going to follow BBO Pro staffers Alan Maher and Shawn Davis as they pursue mature whitetails right here in our backyard in western Pennsylvania. Then we're going to do a little cooking segment, show you how we make some summer sausage and put our deer cuts to good use. Finally, we're going to wind up with a pro staff tip, and then we're going to get you back out in the woods where you belong. Let's not take any more time. Let's get rolling.
This season was pretty incredible for me. I had the opportunity to hunt with one of my good friends, great cameraman, Shawn Davis. He spent a lot of time in the woods with me. Now, based on some of the buck that we have seen this year, you can definitely tell that the antler restriction that we put in western PA has definitely taken effect. A lot of younger bucks have definitely grown, and hunters are allowing them to grow. So it's really nice to see the younger bucks at the caliber that they're at. So hopefully the next few years they're going to come absolute giants. We got to encounter a lot of bucks, coyotes, a bunch of does. Just the one shooter buck that we were after, just couldn't find them.
Not a bad looking deer. I know that deer. I had him at 3 yards too, with that big 10-point
The morning we got into the stand, we didn't even have anything set up yet. We had does all around us, smelling, walking around feeding. It was crazy. All of a sudden, it sounded like a freight train coming through the woods. I thought it was happening, and we didn't even have the camera set up yet. Shawn noticed the buck coming in. I was kind of panicking because I couldn't find him. I finally got to lay eyes on him, started walking away a little bit, threw another grunt at him. He was beelining right for the tree. So as the buck started approaching us, there was an opening 30 yards away. I thought it was going to be the perfect opportunity. I came to full draw. He turned right at us, walked right to the tree. I was at draw for about a minute and a half. The buck stood right underneath of us, literally a yard away from our tree. So I had to sit there at full draw for a while, and finally made the decision I had to let down. Watch him. He looked up a couple times at us. We thought he was done. So with the buck right underneath of me, now I have the decision. Do I make a steep angle shot, or do I try to wait him out?
This is Chuck White for Bucks and Bows Archery. Whether you're a beginning archer or a seasoned veteran, we can meet all your archery needs. Bucks and Bows Archery is a Matthews, Bowtech, Elite Archery, and PSE dealer. Bucks and Bows is a full-service archery pro shop. Whether you're looking for that new bow customized to your exact specifications or simply need fine-tuning of existing equipment, we have the technicians and pro staff to get the job done. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by and check out our wide selection of bows. We hope to see you soon.
ABC Glass and Mirror is your full-service commercial and residential glass specialist. Whether you need custom shower enclosures, same-day screen or thermopane repair, a new tabletop, or a commercial storefront, call the experts with over 30 years of experience. ABC Glass and Mirror is fully insured. They're located on Route 8 just off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Stop by and visit our friendly staff today. For the past 15 years, Blue Mountain Environmental Management Corporation has been dedicated to reducing environmental impact, preventing workplace injuries, and limiting our clients' liabilities. Our staff of environmental scientists, engineers, and technical specialists are committed to providing innovative safety solutions, comprehensive environmental consulting services, and source testing to keep your business compliant with ever-changing regulations. Blue Mountain Environmental, the leader in environmental services. We're back with BBO pro staffers Alan Maher and Shawn Davis. They've got a great deer right underneath their stand.
So while the deer is underneath of us, felt like an eternity, which is probably only a few minutes, but when you got a buck standing underneath of you, time stands still.
He came in, grunting. He was over to our side. We grunted at him, he came back in. Oh my God, that was 8-yard shot. Smoked him, we watched him fall right over there. Oh yeah, man. Shawn, thank you, man. Yeah. Dude. Yes. You're watching BBO, baby. Stay tuned.
All right, we just got out of the stand, watch the buck drop, and we gotta get our hands on him. He is literally right there. He ran 30 yards from us. Go get our hands on him finally. You know, we've been putting in a lot of time, and it paid off. I mean, the rut just finally just started kicking in. This morning we had a bunch of activity. So let's go get our hands on this pig.
Alan's good shot made sure that this deer went less than 30 yards, and there's not a better feeling in the world than not having to blood trail a deer and seeing it down right out in front of your stand.
Got a nice buck here. It's a decent 8-point, you know, here for PA. So I'm happy. You know, he came in, thought he was gonna bust us, but ended up giving us kind of a little bit more quarter away shot. But I'll tell you what, just put the hammer down on him. He, like I said, he didn't run far at all. So we're gonna get him all cleaned up and get him out of here.
Being out in the woods, shooting a buck of this caliber with a great friend in the woods filming for you, what more could you ask for?
Well, that was a terrific segment. That was real exciting watching Alan take that early season buck. And now that you find yourself with a refrigerator full of venison, you might be asking yourself, what do I do with it? Well, we've got a terrific recipe in this next segment for summer sausage that is sure to please everyone in the entire family. One of my all-time favorite ways to put extra cuts of venison to good use is summer sausage. Today we're going to use this quarter that I took from a doe last season. As you can see, this is a very nice cut of meat. Oftentimes summer sausage recipes will call for the addition of pork or other types of meat. I prefer to keep it solely deer meat, but at the same time maybe add a little pepperjack or cheddar cheese just to smooth things out a little bit. Butchering is the critical first step in the sausage making process. Oftentimes you feel like maybe you can get a little bit more cavalier with taking off silver skin and other types of butchering when you're making sausage. The reality is, the more time you spend in preparation, the better the sausage is going to be at the end of the day. Since the grinder I'll be using today is just an attachment on the front of my wife's KitchenAid, I have to be careful to make sure that I get these cuts down to the proper size. If you try and put too much through, you can bog down the machine and screw up the entire process. This has the additional benefit of allowing you to really inspect the cuts of meat that you're putting through, cutting away fat, silver skin, and other undesirables. The result is a nice uniform end product and is going to make much better sausage at the end of the day. For today's recipe, we'll be using a seasoning package from High Mountain Seasonings. It comes with a handy card that allows you to take the large packets of seasoning and cure that you get here and divide it out proportionately based on the number of pounds of meat that you plan to process that day. In the spirit of measure twice and cut once, I like to measure out my spices and cures into separate bowls and then weigh them on a kitchen scale. This is kind of a nice thing to do when you're working with spices, but it's absolutely essential to make sure that you get the amounts right when you're working with cure. As is the case with most sausage recipes, the High Mountain Summer Sausage Seasoning Package and Cure employs sodium nitrite as its primary ingredient. Sodium nitrite is the cure that helps stop microbial growth. It also adds a nice red pleasing color to the meat when the finished product comes out. As you can see, the High Mountain conversion card gives you traditional solid volume measurements as well as weight measurements, and that gives you a nice way to reconcile and ensure that you're getting the cure amount just right. Next, we're going to pre-measure the exact amount of water we need for this recipe, then we'll get things rolling in my wife's KitchenAid.
This is Chuck White for Bucks and Bows Archery. Whether you're a beginning archer or a seasoned veteran, we can meet all your archery needs. Bucks and Bows Archery is a Matthews, Bowtech, Elite Archery, and PSE dealer. Bucks and Bows is a full-service archery pro shop. Whether you're looking for that new bow customized to your exact specifications or simply need fine-tuning of existing equipment, we have the technicians and pro staff to get the job done. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by and check out our wide selection of bows. We hope to see you soon.
For the past 15 years, Blue Mountain Environmental Management Corporation has been dedicated to reducing environmental impact, preventing workplace injuries, and limiting our clients' liabilities. Our staff of environmental scientists, engineers, and technical specialists are committed to providing innovative safety solutions, comprehensive environmental consulting services, and source testing to keep your business compliant with ever-changing regulations. Blue Mountain Environmental, the leader in environmental services. ABC Glass and Mirror is your full-service commercial and residential glass specialist. Whether you need custom shower enclosures, same-day screen or thermopane repair, a new tabletop, or a commercial storefront, call the experts with over 30 years of experience. ABC Glass and Mirror is fully insured. They're located on Route 8 just off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Stop by and visit our friendly staff today. Now that we've combined the meat, spices, cure, and water in my wife's KitchenAid, it's time to get the meat hook rolling and get everything blended. It's important to make sure that the cure reaches every piece of meat in each batch, so err on the side of over-stirring. And now it's time to add the secret ingredient, Cohn-Jaeger high-temperature pepperjack cheese. Cohn-Jaeger recommends adding cheese at the rate of about 15% by weight. So for every 10 pounds of summer sausage you intend to make, you'd add about 8.5 pounds of meat and 1.5 pounds of high-temperature cheese. Don't be afraid to lend a hand to your mixer in trying to ensure that you get a consistent blending of cheese across the entire batch. This just makes for a better end product. Now that we have a nice mixture of meat, cheese, cure, and spices, it's time to stuff the sausage. Today I'm using my Gander Mountain Guide Series sausage stuffer. This is a nice, reasonably priced but very reliable sausage stuffer and makes the job of trying to get meat into casings a heck of a lot easier. One of the keys to making great summer sausage, at least having a nice consistent end product, is removing air bubbles and any other types of gaps in the main compartment of your sausage stuffer. This just makes the job of trying to have a consistent and uniform summer sausage a lot easier. I drafted my wife Michelle to help me get these sausages stuffed more quickly. I'm sure it's possible for one person to do this, but I can't imagine it would work out very well in the end. The key here is to slowly work the meat into the casing, trying to avoid any air bubbles or other types of interruptions, which are going to make for an uneven cooking process. Now it's time to fire up the Bradley smoker and hang your sausages. The cooking process, or at least the smoking instructions, inside of the High Mountain kit say to start off for 1 hour at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Then the next hour is smoked at 140 degrees with your smoke on, moving to 160 degrees for an additional 30 minutes with the smoke on, and then at 180 degrees until the sausage reaches an internal temperature of at least 156 degrees. An important last step is to give your summer sausages an ice water bath as soon as they're done cooking.
This moves the temperature down very rapidly and gets it through the 140-degree danger zone. That's the zone where microbes grow most effectively, and that's also the zone where you want your meat to spend the least amount of time. The safest and most effective way to store summer sausage over the long term is to freeze it, and that's what I normally do in a food saver bag. That gives me the opportunity to grab a slice of summer sausage just about any time of year I please, and that makes me a happy guy. For more recipes and food storage ideas, don't forget to stop by www.bigbowoutdoors.com.
I'm not sure if you could tell from the segment and from the footage, but Alan had his bow drawn for nearly 2 minutes as that buck was moving underneath his stand. And that takes a tremendous amount of discipline as well as some physical strength. And in today's tips and tactics segment, we're going to talk about how you manage that. And the key to it is breathing. One of the most important facets of shooting, whether you're competitively shooting or shooting your bow out in the woods or you have a deer in front of you, is breathing. It is also across a lot of different disciplines where breathing comes into play and ensures a calm mind as well as a calm body. In Alan's case, as he had that bow drawn back, he had to focus and make sure that he was taking breaths in and out. If you don't take proper breathing, you'll have a couple of different problems. Number one, your nerves will start to get in the way. And number two, oftentimes, as your body runs out of oxygen, you're going to run into a tunnel vision situation, and that's not a good place to be. If you find yourself holding your breath, make sure that you focus on taking nice deep breaths, starting all the way down at your solar plexus and working it in and out. And if you can do that while you're in that situation, you'll find yourself in a lot better shape. So an exercise that you can do in order to make sure that you're improving your breathing and being conscious of it is making sure that you take a couple of shots during each practice session while intentionally breathing. As you draw your bow back, focus on taking in a nice deep breath. But then as you get the bow back and you get it anchored, make sure that you're exhaling and taking at least 1 or 2 more deep breaths before you release the arrow. A lot of us have a tendency to get the arrow up there and hurry up and shoot before we run out of oxygen. And that's nice, but it's not going to do you a lot of good if you're in a situation where you can't let that arrow fly. So I'd encourage you to incorporate some breathing techniques into your next practice session and see if that helps you out while you're out in the woods pursuing whitetail. That'll do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We had a lot of fun making it. It was really cool to watch Alan harvest a terrific whitetail deer. Additionally, my family was pretty pleased with the summer sausage that I managed to put together in filming our cooking segment for this week. So until we see each other again, keep stepping right outside your back door.